Welcome all of you in online teaching learning process. We have started paper number first in organic chemistry, in which we have started unit number second, chemical bonding and molecular structure with respect to ionic bonding. And in our last video we have seen energetics of ionic bond formation, and in this video we will see details about the Born-Haber cycle for NaCl and its applications. So our point is Born-Haber cycle for sodium chloride, that is alkali metal halide. So first Born-Haber cycle, which are used to calculate lattice energy, which was discovered by Born and Haber, that is in the year of 1919. The German scientist Max Born and Fritz Haber developed a thermochemical method for determination of lattice energy of any ionic solid. So in this method, known thermochemical quantities are related to unknown lattice energy using Hess law. So here Hess law is applied to determine or to calculate lattice energy by using Born-Haber cycle. So in the case of Born-Haber cycle, that is Born-Haber cycle, the Born-Haber cycle involves the formation of an ionic compound from the reaction of a metal with a non-metal. So this is a heat of formation, delta H of formation. So Born-Haber cycles are used primarily as a means of calculating lattice enthalpies, which cannot otherwise be measured directly. So by using this cycle, we can easily calculate lattice energy of any ionic solid formation. So which relates ionization energy, electron affinity and other properties in a Hess law type calculation. So here first we will see the calculation of lattice energy by using Born-Haber cycle. Consider the formation of ionic solid sodium chloride NaCl, which may take place by two different routes or methods as given below. So route number first is direct conversion. Let us consider the formation of 1 mole of crystalline ionic solid NaCl from 1 mole of solid sodium Na and half mole of gaseous chlorine by direct combination, and this process can be designated as, that is here combination of sodium Na solid which combines with half mole of chlorine gas, and we are getting NaCl solid. So in this process energy is evolved or released, and that energy is called as heat of formation or enthalpy of formation, and is represented by the symbol minus delta H. Yep. So here Na solid combines with half mole of chlorine gas, we are getting NaCl as a solid ionic crystal, and here in energy is released and which is represented by the symbol delta HF. So this is the route first, that is direct conversion. Then in route second, that is indirect method, it involves hypothetical 5 steps, and first one is a sublimation of solid sodium. So here in first step, 1 mole of solid sodium is converted into gaseous sodium, and the energy required for that process is known as sublimation energy, and which is represented by the symbol capital S. So here Na solid is converted into Na gaseous form, and the energy required is a sublimation energy, that is plus S. So here in this test, Na solid is converted into Na gaseous and energy is a delta S sublimation. So this is the first step, sublimation of solid sodium. Then second step, that is formation of sodium ion. Here 1 mole of gaseous sodium by removal of an electron from each atom gets converted into 1 mole of gaseous sodium ion, and the energy required for this process is known as ionization energy. already we have seen that what is the definition of ionization energy. That is the amount of energy required to remove one electron from outermost gaseous state, and this is represented by the symbol I. So here one electron is removed from gaseous sodium, so we are getting Na plus ion. So here Na gaseous is converted into Na plus with the removal of one electron, and the energy required is called as ionization energy. Then third step is a dissociation of chlorine molecule. So chlorine exists in the molecular state, that is Cl2. So 1 mole of chlorine molecule Cl2 dissociate into 2 moles of chlorine atoms. The energy required for this is known as dissociation energy, and which is represented by symbol capital D. Hence, to get 1 mole of chlorine atoms, here we have to dissociate half mole of chlorine molecules. So after dissociation of half mole of chlorine molecule, we are getting chlorine, that is one chlorine atom, and the energy required is a dissociation energy. So here half Cl2 gas is dissociated into chlorine atom. Then next step is a formation of chloride ions, that is Cl minus. So 1 mole of gaseous chloride atom forms 1 mole of gaseous chloride ion by gain of an electron, and the energy released during this process is known as electron affinity, and which is represented by the symbol capital E. Already we have discussed about the details about the electron affinity. So here chlorine atom gains 1 electron which is coming from sodium, and the energy released is called as electron affinity, and we are getting respective chloride ion. And here chlorine gaseous atom converted into chloride ion, and the emission of energy is electron affinity. Then in next step, that is formation of ionic solid NaCl. Here 1 mole of each of gaseous Na plus and Cl minus ions are brought together to form 1 mole of ionic solid, that is NaCl, and the energy released during this process is known as lattice energy, which is represented by symbol capital U. Already we have discussed details about the lattice energy in previous video. So here cations Na plus ion and anion Cl minus ion combine together, and during this process energy is released, and that energy is represented by lattice energy, and we are getting NaCl solid. And that step is that is combination of Na plus and Cl minus, we are getting NaCl in solid form. So now according to Hess law, that is in any closed system the net change in energy is always zero, that is the enthalpy of the reaction remains the same irrespective of the path followed. That is the Hess law, that is the net change in energy is always zero. So the about 2 routes for the formation of solid sodium chloride are independent of each other, so we can equate them. That is in direct route, delta H of formation is equal to summation of all the indirect routes, that is sublimation energy, summation of ionization energy, dissociation energy, electron affinity, and lattice energy. So by rearranging this equation, we can calculate the lattice energy, that is U is equal to minus H minus S minus 1 by 2 D and plus C. So in the above equation, U represent lattice energy of sodium chloride, S sublimation energy of solid sodium, I represent ionization energy of sodium, and D means dissociation energy of chlorine molecule, E electron affinity of chlorine atom, and H heat of formation of NaCl solid. So diagrammatically summary of Born-Haber cycle can be represented like this. So direct combination of sodium atom and chlorine molecule, we are getting NaCl solid. So this is a heat of formation, energy released is heat of formation. Then sublimation energy gives sodium in gaseous state. Then ion energy gives release of energy in the form of ion energy, we are getting Na plus as a solid form. Then chlorine molecule distributed into chlorine atom, and after chlorine atom converted into chloride ion, and the energy released is electron affinity. And lastly, this Na plus and Cl minus cation and combine, and during this process energy released is a lattice energy. So this is the overall summary of the Born-Haber cycle. Then there are some applications of Born-Haber cycle. Then that is most important application of Born-Haber cycle is Born-Haber cycle mainly used to calculate lattice energy of any ionic solid. So to calculate lattice energy, Born-Haber cycle is very much useful. When all other values except lattice energy are known, then using the following relation lattice energy can be calculated. In multiple choice equation, they will ask which equation is used to determine lattice energy. Then this equation is important. Then next application of Born-Haber cycle is, that is Born-Haber cycle can be used to calculate electron affinity of the electronegative elements of the ionic solids. So by using this equation, we can easily calculate electron affinity of any ionic crystal, which are otherwise rather difficult to measure. So thus putting all the values except E, the value of E can be calculated using the equation Born-Haber cycle. And third important application is, we can that is by using Born-Haber cycle, we can study the hypothetical ionic compound formation. That is exactly that ionic compound will be formed or not, can be determined by using Born-Haber cycle. So the positive value of heat of formation and that of lattice energy indicate impossibility of existence of ionic compound. Suppose heat of formation is in positive term, or lattice energy is obtained in positive value, then that ionic crystal will not be possible, because lattice energy is always exothermic in nature. For that purpose, first we will see one example. So with the help of Born-Haber cycle, we can show that metals do not form compounds with their abnormal valences. Thus the values of U and H of calcium monofluoride are though favorable. Suppose lattice energy and heat of formation is minus 62 kilocalorie per mole and minus 190 kilocalorie per mole. That is minus 62 and minus 190 is favorable, but actually calcium fluoride monofluoride is not possible in practical purpose. That is, the compound formed gets immediately converted into more stable form by evolution of energy, as this calcium monofluoride is converted into stable form CaF2 plus calcium plus energy is evolved. So calcium fluoride does not exist. So by using Born-Haber cycle, we conclude that calcium monofluoride or some ionic compounds are not possible in practical purpose. So these are the some applications of Born-Haber cycle. In exam, they will ask write a note on Born-Haber cycle with respect to their applications. So this point is very important as per exam concern. So summary. So Born-Haber cycle for sodium chloride, this stepwise energy changes for the formation of an NaCl. That is first sublimation energy, then dissociation energy, ionization energy, then electron affinity, and last one lattice energy. These 5 steps are important, and first one is a direct route one. So this is about the Born-Haber cycle. So thank you all of you for listening this video.